Well, that was, I totally screwed up that song, but that's the gist of it. I also wanted to share a little poem that I wrote called Cry Not For Me, Loved One. I wrote this in June of 2010, and at that point I was feeling really sick pretty much all the time. And I wanted to move on from that, but I didn't know how or if I'd be able to. And I was obsessed with death, and I wrote something to be read at my funeral. But no one has ever heard this. I haven't read it to anyone. I think I shared it with Martin, and he was like, "The older you get, the weirder you are, and the harder it is to understand you." I think he's wrong, but whatever. I guess he would know. Cry not for me, loved one. My voice is weak, but my soul is singing. Cry not for me, loved one, for we are always here, all together. Loving you has allowed me to experience my best. The quiet moments of awe, the wonder of belonging in your arms, the home we have built together for each other, the adventures we shared while learning together and remaining alone, respecting our differences and rejoicing our coming together. As I leave you, know that I will never leave you. Not really. Just my body, not who I am. Cry not for me, loved one. So I get it's a little morbid, right? Writing your own kind of eulogy stuff, but the thing is, when I was in the hospital at 37, I almost died, and I saw the tunnel open at the end of my bed. I was just not ready to go, and I didn't look in. So I don't know what's in there. I wasn't really scared. I just needed to stay for my children who were teenagers at that time. And I wanted to see what else I could do. They almost called in the surgeons and did open heart surgery, but I woke up in my body the next day and I was covered in sweat. The nurse came in and took off my gown and said, "You didn't even have a fever. Why are you covered in sweat?" And I think I was reborn that day, not in a Christian kind of religious way, but everything changed from that day forward. And I started to really take advantage of the perspective that I had, living my life every day, but with one foot in the grave, an extended life, an extension of the life that I would have had if I had never experienced getting that close to dying. So every time I say goodbye to anybody, I always say goodbye like I may never see them again, because I never know. And the truth is, none of us ever know. And it served me well because I was able to say goodbye to my brother Greg like I would never see him again. And I never did see him again. Although I would like to come there and be able to say goodbye to you in person, I would just hop in the bed with you and hang out. I know that's true. But the goodbyes, when I jumped on the plane the first time when the terminal diagnosis was given, I said goodbye like I would never see you again. And when I saw you a month later when my brother died, I also said goodbye like I would never see you again. And then I saw you again, and then I saw you again. So I am so blessed to be able to have done that. And you were a fabulous uncle, and we had an intense relationship that was fraught with struggles and difficulties, and I'm sorry that I always made you so angry. But I guess, you certainly aren't the only one who felt that way around me. A lot of people have for whatever reason, and maybe that's part of the gift that I have of aggravating people so they can become closer to whatever issue it is that they need to address, or who knows, but it's the way that I am, and it's the way that you are, and I'm just very glad to have known you, and I love you, and goodbye.